Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Ruthless Aggression Critic. And this is your very first episode of Ruthless Aggression Critic. Obviously, I am the aggressor. I want to know who and where has wrestling gone to since I watch wrestling. I want to know, why is wrestling so different? Obviously, there's plenty of different in modern wrestling, and it sucks. It's just a weird era. But I am going to do a review on All Elite Wrestling Fairway to Hell at the SoFi Center in West Palm, Florida. So West Palm Beach, Florida. That's where they kicked off this event, and just getting into it, man, it was a different event. It was something way more it was inspiring. It was awe-inspiring. It was a very cool and different event. It wasn't something that you usually get your stage and you got the people all around. This thing was actually inside some kind of golf center. I don't know. There's a golf play area. I don't know anything about golf. I thought this thing was gonna be lame, and this thing just came out cool. The green really had a big pop to everything, and I thought that was just a weird atmosphere. So definitely different. And the golf course started to, I didn't think it was gonna play anything into this, so we'll get into it. Mark Davis versus Jack Perry for the AEW National Championship. And I was excited because I really like Mark Davis. And Jungle Boy Jack Perry has been defending that championship when seemingly kind of came out of nowhere. And it just kind of he started to defend it everywhere else, Jack Perry. And I didn't really care about this title, to be honest. I wasn't really a big inspired by this title. I wasn't interested in this title. I mean, it's a nice looking title, but the crowd was heavily interested early on. Everybody cheered Jack Perry as he came in, and they did their little cringe thing. And Mark Davis, man, he came across dangerous and believable. Mark Davis has always been just this massive monster of a man, and I think anybody who really comes from that United Kingdom is gonna excel all expectations. They're gonna show you something that, not the United Kingdom, United Empire, I guess, and they're gonna exceed all the expectations that you really have, like Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis, and I know that they're getting more people in that United Empire with that green and black color scheme of a tag team. And man, Mark Davis is somebody who he'll probably sip his little tea and he'll set it down and he looks at you and you have a championship. He's going to take it from you, because that's the kind of guy that he should be. That's the kind of guy he should be allowed to be, because if wrestling was booked correctly, Mark Davis should be taking championships left and right, and nobody should be safe. So I truly hope that the booking is correct for Mark Davis. And but yeah, so big energy, and I was super excited for this matchup. Jack Perry had energy, He had a lot of weak strikes coming into thinking, oh, let me just do my little elbows and my little like chops. Like, there was no power behind it. So a lot of it had to be him doing his high flying. I love high flying stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's just that if you're going to go up against somebody like Mark Davis, you're gonna have to bring something a lot harder hitting. Like you have to hit hard. So yeah, there was a lot of showboating at some points instead of staying aggressive. If you have Jack Perry landing on Mark Davis from the top of the ring post, and he's just did this amazing moonsault and landed it. All of a sudden, he's showing to the crowd, look what I did. I'm amazing, this and that. And Mark Davis is there. He's able to kind of collect himself as he's laying there, So obviously it's part of the struggle, but I would just like to see a little bit more aggressiveness, towards them. And, you got to treat your opponent as if he's truly a threat, If there's going to be somebody who looks like they want to harm you, the first thing you want to do is turn your back on them. I don't think so. You're going to want to keep your eyes fixed and locked on that threat. So that's just a little bit of a pet peeve I've got to say with these guys. Man, but Mark Davis came back strong. A lot of hard hitting. Oh, man, nasty chops. And then that clothesline he does, man, it just knocks you off your feet. It looks like you're winded off of that. So crazy, crazy things. One of the craziest things came out. Ricochet in his like pink and white shorts. He looks like a golfer, but he looked like a douchebag. And wow, whacked across the skull of Jack Perry as Don Callis was distracting the referee. And unfortunately, that was the end of Jack Perry's reign, but that made me excited because Mark Davis capitalized and took the AEW National Championship. Some people would say he stole it, but you know what? I think at the end of the day, even without that that clubbing blow to the skull of Jack Perry, I think that Mark Davis could have got the job done on his own. Nevertheless, I'm so excited. I want Mark Davis to be a nasty threat to this company. To anybody holding a title should be shaking in their boots, until he gets to the right position, the right person, and then we're gonna have ourselves a challenge. So we'll see. We'll keep an eye on that. Nick Wayne had a promo, and yeah, it's cool seeing Nick Wayne. He's been obviously started from AEW, and he did the whole thing with Darby Allin, and obviously he went with Christian Cage and the family there, and his mom's such a queen. She's freaking awesome. And yeah, then he started to get injury prone and stuff like that. So he went to New Japan, Ring of Honor. Dude, that is cool, man. He's handling his business outside. He's not afraid to step away from the spotlight. He's to step away from TV time, to step away from even Collision. And when they have him back, man, we're just that much excited, because I think that anywhere you see Nick Wayne, in Japan, in Ring of Honor, hell, in TNA probably. I don't think he will, but we don't know. I think Nick Wayne he's truly special. He needs to build up a little bit more muscle to get his body really, really going, like really being able to handle the trauma of this sport. So that's going to be a big thing until Nick Wayne really gets there. So he's so young. And good to see him, man, soon. They announced Will Ospreay versus the Ace Austin. Ace Austin, he looks athletic, and but to me, it's like he's really like bland. Like I get that he has his little card and stuff, and his purple and black, but I just I don't really see too much personality on the kid. I don't see so much like just I think he needs to either cut a promo or develop some kind of like personality, So against Will Ospreay, this is gonna be a fine match, obviously. And Will Ospreay, he's handling his neck issues. Hopefully Will Ospreay, I don't know, dude. I think Will Ospreay's not the same guy, but we're gonna find out. Yeah, so coming back to Jack Perry, he's called Chris Jericho, and he called the Demand, and he called the EVPs, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, and now he's placed himself into that stadium stampede in Double or Nothing, and I think that's gonna be a really that's a I don't want to say it's an elite, but these guys are resilient. These guys are hard hitting, and they come up with such creative spots altogether. So that's gonna obviously make it a big spectacle, and it's gonna be chaos at Double or Nothing. So then here we go with the Divine Dominion, a 5-minute challenge. So at first I was like, I heard, the following contest is scheduled for one fall, and it's a tag team match for 5 minutes, and I thought that was kind of odd for a 5-minute matchup with the tag titles, the women's tag titles. But apparently they're doing their 5-minute challenge, and if a tag team could last 5 minutes with the Divine Dominion, Karrion Kross, or I think it's Lena Cross and Megan Bayne, these girls, they're doing squash matches. They're wrestling jobbers. They're, enhancement talent. And they're trying to say that this 5-minute challenge is something new. It's something brand new, where we forgot Max Caster did the Who's Gonna Wrestle 5 with the best wrestler alive, and he got squashed pretty quickly, and that was just an ongoing joke. So I think that this is really, I don't know, it's not hitting for me. It's not really that special to me, where they think that, if they survive 5 minutes, I'm like, you could probably tag somebody in, and as soon as they're gonna get them, you could run around the ring. They could chase you down. You could slip in and out of the ring, break the count. You could go outside, do the hokey pokey, and twist it all around. That's what it's all about. And then tag your partner in, and then do the same thing. And 5 minutes, bro. All right, let's go. We lost in like 10 minutes, but fuck it, we get tag matches. Who cares? It's all good. We survived the Divine Dominion. So yeah, that's what these girls should have done. These enhancement talents. I didn't even catch their names because nobody cared. So yeah, even though we're never gonna see them again, or we might, but I don't know where they came from, and they're probably really good in their own right. And yeah, no emotional struggle. Didn't feel unique enough. and it didn't have, to me, it didn't have taste. I felt flat. Like, I felt like, okay, cool. What's next? So yeah, um, and I'm trying to be big on Megan Bain and Lena Cross, and it's, I don't know. I like the other girls, the Babes of Wrath. I thought that was a lot more fun, and they were like more hard hitting, hard working, and they had dynamics. So yeah, Fatal Four Way was announced between Thekla, Hikaru Shida, Chris Statlander, and Jimmy Hayter. I love these Fatal Four Ways for the women's championship because they're so unpredictable. It's a 25% chance of a woman, even though it's pre-scripted and stuff. You don't know. You know, these girls are up for grabs. Every man is for himself. So you kind of get different struggles. You get different fights. And especially like a Fatal Four Way, there's no rules. There's no disqualification. There's no countouts and stuff. So there's just chaos in the ring. And I think it just like gets your blood going. You know, it gets your adrenaline pumping just a little bit more than like these singles matches and stuff where obviously like these girls, these women, they work hard. They work hard for being in wrestling. It's not an easy thing to do, especially for probably a woman's body, more fragile and stuff like that. But like, I just think that like when there's a chain of like hard hitting left and right, you know, inside and outside of the ring, and there's just unpredictability and close calls and breaking up the pins, and you know, the ref calling almost a 3 count, but then they break up, or you know, somebody puts their foot on the rope. I think that's just fantastic, and I think that we should do this every time because that makes it feel like the world championship could land on anybody's lap at that point. So that'll be exciting for Double or Nothing, and we're gonna see what these women do. Don Callis gets on another segment. So here's the second Don Callis segment, and yeah, he's basically teasing that Takeshita is gonna be the next champion, and he's ready to. Because he said, oh, Okada left to Japan and he's got, you know, family business to attend to. And I'm just like, okay, whatever, you know. Okada, he's good. He's fine, but I don't know. I just think that, like, he needs to... I don't know. He's just there to get a wrestling paycheck and do his little match, call somebody a bitch, stand in the actual stage, put his hands out. He doesn't have anything that really like, you know, D-Generation X, they say suck it, and then let's get ready to suck it, and if you're not down with that, we got 2 words for you, suck it. So I'm like, are they gonna get ready to suck it, or do they want to get ready to suck it? I don't know. But that's always like, that was cool, you know, like for the millions of attendance. Okada doesn't say anything. He just says, bitch, and I'm gonna beat you, and all this boring stuff. I'm just like, who cares, dude? Like, Okada, get yourself, I don't even care if you get like, I don't know, a nose piercing or something, and you're like a punk guy or something, dude. Come on, man. Okada, like, you just, I don't know, man. You look like a Barbie, by the way. You look like a Ken doll to me because of your blonde hair, and yeah, it's there's nothing special about you, Okada. You know, I like Takeshita better, so whatever. Too much Don Callis, and yeah. Then Takeshita, you know, he says, oh, I'm still going to be the Continental Champion, or not the Continental, I think International Champion. because Okada still has that title. And yeah, it's he's looking at the title. He just wants to take the title. He doesn't care if he's gonna be on Dynamite for a world champion. You could put him in All In the main event of the actual show where everybody's there. But if he doesn't have the championship from Okada, then he doesn't care. If that's what he wants, then that's what he's going to get. And you could already tell Darby Allin's going to retain because of the fact that he's looking at the sun. He thinks he's going to catch this ball. And he's like, oh, I was blinded. I wasn't paying attention. Oh, this and that. Like, bro, you got your eye off the ball. The world championship is going to be there in front of your face on Wednesday. And it's our AEW Dynamite main event, and we're supposed to be excited for somebody who doesn't care about the world championship. Dude, come on. I mean, I'm glad because Darby Allin is gonna like kind of like bypass it. Like, okay, cool. Like, I'll just get him like, freaking a roll up or whatever, or a code red, or a splash, or a freaking coffin drop or whatever. Fine. I really want Darby Allin to defend his world championship at Double or Nothing, and I think that's where we're going to, because there's still plenty of time before Double or Nothing. So yeah. Okay, we're moving on from that. Takeshita, figure it out, bro. Speedball Mike Bailey. All right. Yeah, I want to see more Speedball Mike Bailey. I want to see him succeed. I know he was a trios tag team champion. That's not really a singles championship. I would prefer to see him with the TNT championship. He has to betray Kevin Knight, dude. I want to feel that. I want to feel the heartbreak. I want to feel the, no, but it's so cool. And then, like, just, oh, man, imagine Kevin Knight versus Speedball Mike Bailey in a ladder match at that stadium, that freaking, what the hell is that called? Neil Armstrong or whatever stadium. I don't know what the heck that is. But I think that would be such a spectacle, and I think Speedball could really turn heel, even though he's a sweetheart and stuff. He just gotta dig deep, bro. He's gotta dig deep and not doing these jobber squash matches that nobody cares about. Like, it's cool to see his kicks. It's cool to see, like, he's so proud about his background, I think, in Taekwondo. And I'm proud for him too, but like, let's get something going, buddy. Okay. Let's figure that out. He wins that championship. Kevin Knight's like, I'm gonna be Jet 2 belts and this and that, Jet 2 belts and hell, and then like you could see Speedball kind of like, hey, that's a really nice belt, you can see him kind of glance at it. I mean, obviously, like, it's a good little attraction, it's a good little it's eye candy, so I think he needs to do something, and if it costs busting Kevin Knight open, then let's go. But yeah, these guys, good job. We're moving on. This was cool. This was a promo for Pac versus Darby Allin World Championship. The match, I felt the tension. I felt how special it was, And then they did like a whole promo where Pac was like, he's like, I'm a mountain you will never conquer. He's like, you're never gonna fully conquer me. And I was like, wow, like, cause Darby Allin conquered the Mount Rushmore. He handed it up, man. He went up there, and that's insane, to think. I don't think any wrestler has ever done that. And then, like, so Pac is just this living, breathing, freaking. He's like a bad luck charm, man. You see him around, and you're just like, oh man, like, this is not gonna be good, It's not gonna be an easy Saturday night when it comes to Pac. And Darby Allin, the resilience, the toughness, I don't know what goes through his head, man, when he wants to take these huge bumps and he wants to actually, stay in the match, I'm just like, wow, like you're really leaving it out on the mat. You're leaving it out mentally, physically, and the crowd is devouring it, dude. Like chocolate pudding, like, oh man. So yeah, crowd was fully invested in Darby. Pac felt dangerous, man. And then the entrance, and then they started brawling in the golf course, which felt so unique and fresh. It was such a different environment. It wasn't exactly outside, but it wasn't inside either. And he did a back body drop, and you could just see how much like of that breath, that freaking air came out of Darby. And it looks like grass. It's grass, but it's hard, like it's fake grass. And yeah, so then Darby gets up and he does a drop kick, launching Pac right into that sand. So that must be crazy. All these little grains of sand in your pores, in your hair, in your face. That just felt uncomfortable, And yeah, then they started battling back inside the ring. They came back from break, and and that brutalizer submission right in the sand. And then the actual ref was like, oh, you can't tap him out here, bro. Like, I'm sorry. Like, you have to go inside the ring. So that kind of was like another thing, like, oh, bring it back, bring it back inside the ring, which was a crazy thing. I thought he was gonna tap out right there and then. These little things were like, oh, he could lose it. Oh, I don't know, So yeah, you start brawling back inside the ring, and there was that table spot, which I'm not talking about the one everybody knows we're talking about, but this table where Darby Allin was outside, right at ringside, and Pac just decides to throw open the apron. He grabs the table and he slides it, and he's all right. I'm gonna do a black arrow or a black falcon, whatever. He's gonna put it up. He's gonna set the table up. Puts Darby, lays him out. Punches him a little bit. Gets back up on that third rope, and he does an attempted. Well, it looks like a moonsault, and he does like this black arrow, kind of like moonsault, and. Bro, Darby Allin, nobody home. He takes off. He goes shopping. And there's nothing in between him, his face, and that table. And he just goes right through that table. Pac is struggling to breathe. You could hear him. You could see his face. Like that must have... winded him. That must have that could have cracked some bones. That was, kudos to Pac, dude. Come on. Pac is willing and able to die for the company, and we gotta push this crazy bastard because he deserves a lot of things too. So and he's so funny. He's he's had his same music from the very beginning, so he's never thought, oh, I'm gonna change it, besides when he was with the Death Triangle, and that wasn't even his choice. That was just because he was in a different faction. And yeah, you could hear the violins play on the music, but then it's just his basic generic music, which is I was that's funny, dude. Pac, he doesn't care. He's not gonna be out here wearing like tassels like the Young Bucks. He's not gonna color his hair. He's not gonna, wear some beads like freaking rhinestones on his like trunks and stuff. He's gonna be like, let me just show you what I could do, and I think that's gonna be enough. Yeah, and it's enough. It's enough. We're good. Right? Cool. Wow. These guys have so much chemistry together. Pac and Darby Allin. They know how to just bring out the best out of each other, and every time I know Pac is gonna wrestle Darby Allin, I fear for him. I fear for Darby Allin. I fear for his life, and even though it's scripted, but like, yo, that's my boy, dude. So yeah, he wrestles every match like it's his last, and they both do, and that's why right now, currently, Darby Allin, he's somehow elevated that world championship by just giving everybody an opportunity. And now you can't just say, hey, I've been in this company for a long time, I've never had a chance at the world championship. Now a lot of the mid-carders, a lot of people who maybe co-headliners of like the main event, now they're getting the opportunity to like, hey, whether you've seen their matches or not, this is a world championship match. So you're most likely going to sit down and watch it. And you might give the challenger a little bit more of a chance next time. So Darby Allin's doing a great job elevating his own roster. And this is why a lot of times it's probably like Hangman Adam Page, and I mean, not really Kenny Omega sometimes, but you really do like MJF. Everybody's like, fuck, MJF got the world championship, and I'm going off like just going on to like ranting a little bit, but when Darby Allin became champion, and you have people like Sting, Brody King, again, the tag team champions, the Young Bucks, people coming out who haven't even held the world championship, and they're still celebrating with them. They're still like, they're cheering them on, and everybody's proud of them. Then they go to Nitro Circus, like, I think Darby Allin is truly doing something very special with this championship. And it's just like a reminiscence, and I think he's earned it because he's been there since day one, and he hasn't said, hey, let me take a few months off. Let me, I'm a little sick, or I don't feel good, or, or I got have a leukemia, or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, so I think he's doing more good than bad for the championships. I'd like to see more different champions, but then we got Darby Allin getting tossed off of the balcony from the second floor of the actual, man, that was not good, because the thing is, like, he could have definitely missed it. I feel like he got like a lot of chips. Like, he got like just enough to like, okay, say he hit it, but he didn't really hit it, man. He didn't go through that table, and it was supposed to really break his fall. I was hoping Pac was gonna like grab him and like throw themselves both over. I think that would have been a lot more credibility towards Pac, which, I mean, obviously not taking anything away from him. I just think that it'll make Pac a little bit more like, dang, this guy's crazy, dude. Like, he took them both down. Like, the way MJF and Hangman Adam Page, they grabbed each other off of the stage and they just threw each other down, and then the table exploded. You know, it had little like implanted sparks and stuff, and boom, it exploded, and we thought that was so cool. They both died. And yeah, then Pac, he just like, well, I'm gonna go down these hundreds of stairs, and he just starts running down these stairs and running down these stairs like, I don't get him, go get him. And he gets him in, and like, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3. I was like, nah, maybe Pac might get it. And Darby Allin kicks out. Pac is more shook than ever. And I think a lot of these people who, like, when they kick out and they make their eyes all big and stuff, and like, you know, they're all shook and surprised. I think a lot of that started when the Undertaker did it to Shawn Michaels after the second pile driver, and he was just shocked that he was like tired. And yeah, ever since that WrestleMania 25, a lot of these wrestlers have just kind of like, oh, let's do a surprise spot and a surprise kick out and everything like that. And I think that's kind of been a bigger tradition, but it's never going to be as special as when The Undertaker did it on the 25th anniversary of WrestleMania. So, yeah. Me and my sister were so crazy. My sister was just insane for that matchup. And, you know, we watched it with my dad, and we're just like, wow, dude, like, the streak could end today. Like, you know, and it was crazy, bro. It was just, you know, your palms are sweaty, your knees are shaky, whatever, mom spaghetti. Yeah. So, yeah, I think it's a little bit overplayed, but like at the same time, we understand like what he just went through. So yeah, we gotta a little bit drop on that, you know. Come on, guys, like, let's make it more special, you know. Which I think that was a good way. That was a good spot for that, but we've seen it too many times. So and then Darby Allin, he kicks him in the nuts. He kicks Pac right in the nuts, and he throws a championship in his face and a coffin drop, and that's the win. I think, I mean, obviously, I think Pac didn't endure as much pain as he could have for just that. He should have put him in the Scorpion Deathlock, and then kept on pulling him. Like, he'll get like close to the rope, and then he'll pull it, and then he'll get close to the rope, and then pull it, and then after that, Pac's like, fuck it, I'm done, I can't do this, and he starts tapping out, and then he passes out. I think that would have been sick. That would have felt like Darby Allin is like, man, that Scorpion Deathlock is it's just it's a clutch. It's a sharpshooter, you know. So whatever. But yeah, I think that would have been a better way. But yeah, overall, Fairway to Hell succeeded because it felt different. It was strong atmosphere, memorable presentation. The main event elevated the entire show. Some repetitive segments and weaker pacing. It did hurt some parts on the card. Wrestling tag team division is still lacking. I want to see more investment, more emotional investment. Like, I want these girls to like really be trying to hold on to their titles, you know, because of how many people really need it. Oh, we need those titles, you know. And Darby Allin versus Pac completely stole the night emotionally for me. And AEW is at its best when it feels chaotic, dangerous, emotional, and unpredictable. And yeah, it still feels, alive. I feel like the score of this overall show, it's going to be hard to score a 10. But, dude, this was a solid 7.4 out of 10. And that's going to be my big thing is if you get a 10, dude, Everything from the very, very top to the very, very bottom to the very end to the credits, everything has to be amazing. So I don't think I'm going to be giving anybody really a 10 out of 10 until you earn that 10. So 7.4 out of 10. It's not perfect. There was some weak spots, but the atmosphere, the uniqueness, and the World Championship match made this a memorable collision. Fairway to hell, and I hope they keep doing it. I hope that they do SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles, because that's where we're from. We're from the LA area. And just in general, like, see more wrestling and bigger stadiums, and hopefully the WWE audience, you know, because they're bots, they start to realize that you know, maybe this gingerbread man stuff isn't gonna get over. But anyways, that's enough for me. That was the Ruthless Aggression Critic, and we'll see you guys on Dynamite this Wednesday. So yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Keep in touch.